Hey, welcome back to my channel. We are still doing the series on marriage works, but it is work. And today we are going to talk about communication. Now, what is communication? It is speaking in a manner that the other person understands. Communication is not about what you are saying, it is about how you say it. What did you want to communicate? And understanding how the other person will receive what you are saying. Will they receive what you intended to say? I'm sure you can see the difference. Yeah, it's not just about saying, "Hi, good morning, how are you?" No, it's about understanding. I want this person to know that I care about their morning, and so I want them to get that message. But it may not be a good morning, it may be mambo, umelalaji leo. Simple. It may not be good morning. You don't if they don't understand English, you cannot use English. Now, sometimes we insist on speaking the way we want and we expect the other person to understand, and bosses do this all the time. We expect people to get exactly what we wanted them to get, yeah? So you will find yourself speaking English to someone who only understands Chinese. At the end of the day, you will start shouting, and then they will respond by shouting in Chinese. That's a broken relationship right there, broken communication. Nothing is getting through the wire. So, a lot of people face challenges in the area of communication. One of the challenges, and many people don't see it, is upbringing. When you get into the marriage, both of you have been living in separate homes, okay? You have been raised by people who are not the same, different parents, different communities, you have gone through different schools, you have different experiences. So, the way you've been brought up, your home setup, or the way people communicate around you, the way you talk to your siblings, is not the same way your spouse has been brought up. So when you want to speak in a certain way, when you want to say something, you need to understand whether they will understand what you're saying, or they will start getting other things out of the words that you've said. And many people think this is petty. It is not. You need to sit down with your spouse, understand their upbringing. Excuse me. Understand their upbringing, and that's the only way you will know, if I speak like this, she will remember so and so used to speak like that. And so there will be a communication breakdown because she will just hear the voice of that person in what I am saying. They will not be able to understand what I want to communicate. But also, it is upon the person who has the issue in the upbringing. You need to be proactive in processing what has happened to you in the past so that you don't always put your spouse in a guarded position, because nobody wants to keep thinking, oh, let me not say this, let me not say that, let me not speak like this. Nobody wants to do life like that for 70 plus years, being guarded. Nobody wants that. You need to be proactive about resolving your upbringing issues and understanding one simple thing: your spouse is not in your past. Your spouse has never been in your past. Your spouse is your present and your future. Okay? And there may also be an issue. Maybe you had an issue in the marriage. There was a communication issue that was happening in the early years of your marriage. You need to get over it. And you need to proceed with clarity that you guys have handled that issue and it is done. Si ati kila wakati ukiongea mtu akiinterpret na certain way unasema sasa tena umerudi siku vitu za kitambo za kwenyu. That is not a nice thing to say, okay? The other issue that affects communication, love language. Oh, this one is a serious one. And it is said in almost every marriage seminar, but people simply they're not able to get it. Unfortunately, every person has their own love language, and it can also be an issue of upbringing, but that doesn't mean that because I like flowers, you should trash my way of liking flowers. I like flowers. If you bring me flowers, I will like them. I'm not saying I do, actually I don't. So, the important thing is you need to find out what is your spouse's love language. I mean, you want to communicate love. Occasionally, you want to do something extra, okay? Many people get lost because you're buying gifts, you're holding their hand in public, those 5 languages of love: acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, and receiving gifts. And so you're doing one or the other, and most of the time we end up doing the one we want. For example, if you like receiving gifts, you'll find yourself buying gifts for someone else, not realizing that they don't like gifts. They would prefer quality time. They don't like words of affirmation. In fact, they feel like you're being phony about it and you're overpraising them for no good reason. And someone will get offended about it. So you need to know, what is my spouse's love language? Don't communicate the wrong thing, or don't fail in your communication, okay? The other thing, something that affects people also, multitasking. Let me tell you, there are many times when you tell somebody something and they're not listening, they're hearing, but they're not listening. So at the end of the day, what will happen? Probably they were busy doing something else. Like here, if you go talk to a man when he's watching something, or if you talk to a man when he's fixing something that, imemchukua kabisa, my friend, whatever you were saying will not be remembered. You need to be careful about that. And people have that challenge in the first year of marriage before you realize, oh, I need to talk to this person when they're seated and settled. Understand your spouse. Don't try to push them to be multitasking. Don't do that. Don't introduce stories, serious stories like, oh, school fees is needed. And say, you people are in a conflict. Now, surely, find the appropriate time to communicate, okay? Some things like mtu ameamka na sasa ndo namwambia, by the way, roof inaanguka. I mean, hiyo si kitu ya kuambia mtu asubuhi. Unless you want to spoil their day. Please don't do that. That is just not a good thing, okay? Okay. Then, the other thing that I want to share is common sense, or you should read my mind. A lot of people go through life thinking everybody understands them. Things are simple, This is how we live life. So, again, you need to realize that your spouse did not grow up with you. So, can you just say what you want to say? Don't wait for someone to read your mind. Ladies, we are accused of this. Don't wait for anyone to read your mind. Just say what you want to say. Stop doing Cold War and expecting someone to know, oh, I said this and this, I should apologize and all that. No. Cold War is manipulation and blackmail. And that is not love, okay? That is not love. Common sense. Common sense is, as often said, not common to all, including your spouse. Now, it's not an insult, by the way. A lot of people think it's an insult. The thing is, if you have grown up in certain circles, there's a way you talk to each other. There's a way you say a joke and everybody gets it. But here is your spouse. Unless you've been friends for quite a while, some jokes will just peter. Zitapita tu. Na utabaki hapo kicheka peke yako. And then also, if you don't have the same intellect, or the same exposure, or the same experiences, please don't expect us to have the common understanding of things. Also, but there's something else. If you're a doctor and I am, I don't know, something else, engineer, if you're a teacher, or those, or you're a scientist, lawyers, you come into the house and you want to communicate in legal language, please, that is not going to work. In fact, people will think you've brought work to the house. You're a doctor, or let me mention, you're a Luo. And you want to use those big dictionary words in the home, and here you are married to someone from another tribe, or someone who does not understand your communication in your tribe, or the way you say things, the way you do things. Please, common sense is not common to your spouse as well. So please, adjust. We are now married. Adjust yourself to your spouse, and start learning a new way of communicating with each other, because it's just for your marriage, okay? But I'm telling you, this will also help you with other relationships. You will realize it will better you way more than you understood or you could ever imagine. So please go and improve on your communication, okay?